Good morning, Westchester. I'm Jacob Spence.
I'm Zoe Troikis.
I'm Haley Zolovecki.
And I'm Mira Kasha.
And these are your announcements for Friday, April 6th, 2018.
Lunch for today will be roast turkey with mashed potatoes and gravy, wheat dinner roll, green beans, cherry tomatoes, chocolate chip cookies, fruit, and milk.
Today at Westchester at 9:15, we will have the 6th grade awards ceremony. The 5th grade awards ceremony will be at 10:30. And after school, 6th grade Minecraft Club will be meeting.
Celebrating a birthday today is Mrs. Malloy. Happy birthday to her.
Celebrating a birthday over the weekend will be Olivia Berry, Toby Eisen, and Jackie Chan. Happy birthday. Have a happy birthday.
Hey, if you're a 5th grader who likes to sing and you're not in band or orchestra next year, why not join the class choir? Just pick up a permission slip and information slip from Mrs. Flash. It's as simple as that.
Here are the results for the Marchbox Cups contest. In 5th place with 121 items is Mrs. Macy. In 4th place with 126 items, Mr. Levan. In 3rd place with 143 items, Mrs. Sexton. In 2nd place with 150 items, Mrs. Hall.
And the winner for March, despite her best efforts, is Mrs. Seastand with 167 items. Congratulations, but we will get you next month. Your trophy's on the way back. For today's weather, here's Isabella Icestorm.
I'm Isabella Icestorm with the weekend weather. Do you remember when April was not still winter? Well, winter is still here. Today will be cloudy and 37 degrees. Saturday and Sunday will be 34 and 40 degrees with a chance of snow. Oh well, let's make the best of it and make a snowman in April. Have a great weekend. Here's our special guest, Mr. Doolin.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I do have a special guest with me. Here he is. Come on out here. This is Ollie, everybody. In case you don't know Ollie, this is Ollie. Ollie's here. He's really excited. He gets to be on the news, and this is kind of his tryout, because next year he wants to be on the news. So this is kind of his tryout. He's a 5th grader. Yep. And the reason Ollie's here is because April is Autism Awareness Month. And autism is a disorder that we are going to talk about. And Ollie here is going to talk about autism because for a very special reason. So, first off, I'm going to ask Ollie some questions, and he's going to give us some information. So, Ollie, what is autism?
Autism is a name for the brain works that makes some people think, act, and feel a little bit differently than for other people. For some people, autism makes it hard for them to talk, or they might be really sensitive to loud noises or bright lights.
Okay, so we're talking about Ollie, and because Ollie does have autism. Are all people with autism the same?
No, autism is a spectrum disorder. This means that every person with this disorder have different strengths and weaknesses. They all have different things that they like to do and things they don't like to do.
Is autism contagious?
Absolutely not. Scientists do not know how or why autism happens in certain people. Just like some people are born with freckles. If you hang out with somebody with autism, you will not end up with freckles as a result. It's the same with autism.
Awesome. So what are some of the strengths that you have? What's one of your biggest strengths?
Well, one of my big strengths is that I'm decent at math. I'm a really fluent reader, honestly. Yeah.
All right. And what are some of your weaknesses?
Well, there's eye contact, maybe I just don't like loud things as much. Basically the normal thing that an autistic kid would probably have.
Okay, so what Ollie's trying to say is that sometimes he may not have real good eye contact with you, but that doesn't mean that he's not interested in what you have to say or that he doesn't care about you. Sometimes it's very difficult for him to make good eye contact, and sometimes loud noises can bother him. So if you see sometimes loud noises are happening in the classroom and you see Ollie looks a little bit like he's not really comfortable, that's because he has a hard time dealing with those loud noises. Is it all right for your peers if they have a question about autism? Could they ask you a question?
It's fine, because it's fine for people to ask questions, because of course they're not autistic, and that they might, like, people with autism may not be like regular people without it.
Okay, excellent. So we were thanking Ollie for coming in today. We really appreciate him coming in. And we hope that you have a better understanding of autism. Remember, not all kids with autism are going to be exactly the same. There's a saying that says if you meet one person with autism, then you've met one person with autism, because every person with autism have different things that they're really interested in, and those things that they're really interested in might change. Like there are certain kids that love trains, and they're really focused on trains. They love trains. They learn everything they can about trains. But then maybe next year they might be interested in something else, maybe construction or garbage trucks or even something else like that. So remember, it's okay to ask questions. As long as you're not asking a rude question, it's perfectly fine to ask about disabilities, any disability. It's perfectly fine to ask a student or an adult, a parent, whoever you want to ask. If you want to ask, you know, hey, can you explain something to me? As long as you're not being rude, because asking questions helps us to understand and accept differences in everybody. And our differences make our world a more colorful place. So again, thank you, Ollie, for coming in. Have a great weekend. We hope that we see you all next week.
We now ask you to stand for the pledge. If you are in the hall, face the nearest flag or face east.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please remain standing for a moment of silence.
That brings us to the end of today's AM 815. We'll be hearing from Ian Michael and Jamia Estes on Monday. Until then, enjoy your weekend.